I want, I need, I try versus other phrases. Kia ora, welcome. This is Catrin from Inspire New Beginnings and two-pointing, and this is the second video in regards to the membership session where we talked about many different things, and this video is about language and how we can use them. I shared in my membership too, these are just my beliefs or my intuition telling me there is nothing that says you have to do it this way. There's just only encouragement and maybe even thinking about it. So when we are two-pointing, quite often, either when we ask the questions or when we state certain scenarios or when we share afterwards, we are using language. And what I noticed when people were sharing in my last session in the membership, where they used phrases like, I need to do this more often, and I try and get better at this. When we use words like need, it already has another implication in it, and need comes from a place of wanting but not having, meaning from a place of lack. We always have, whether we are at this moment experiencing it or not, everything at our fingertips. There is no limitation. There's only limitation of the mind. So when I use a word need, I basically come straight away of the place of I lack having it. And that energetically really puts me down quite a bit. So instead of saying I need to two-point more often, I could say I encourage myself to use the two-pointing technique more often. I enjoy when I practice two-pointing. I intend to two-point more often. All these phrases have straight away a different kind of energy and are not coming from the basis of not having enough or from lack. The other phrase we talked about was I try to. And we use that word very often, especially when we are learning something. Like whether you are on a diet, for example, I try to eat less carbs, or I try to drink 1 beer less, or I try to move in the mornings and do my yoga practice. The word try straight away has for me this little extra exit door that allows me not to do it. Trying means actually really nothing. I either do it or I don't. And I would encourage you again to use an action word instead of I try to do something. You actually are doing it. When you are going out the door to walk, when you are focusing on having a better diet for yourself, when you are two-pointing, you actually are doing it. You're not trying to do it. So you could, instead of saying, I try to do two-pointing better, you could say, I practice two-pointing, or I practice to become better at two-pointing, or I practice eating healthier. Practicing doesn't mean that you are straight away perfect at it. It allows, that you have moments where you lapse. It also allows you a day where you don't feel like it, but it's still a word of action. You are actually doing it. It's a try versus I practice, for example, or you can use another word too, an activity word, I'm doing it, has again a different energy attached to it. Try is a little bit more, and for me, energetically, frequency a little bit further down here. And it also allows me to have this escape clause. And I don't take full responsibility. But I practice means I stand in my power. I'm doing it. Whether I do it perfectly or not doesn't really matter. I'm doing it. And there is more confidence and more innate power attached to that word for me. So watching our language observing our language really helps us already to notice in what kind of energy frequency we are. And which we are sending out, because we remember, whatever we are sending out, we are receiving back. There is this lovely quote, and I have forgotten from whom it is, but is it luck or the universe favors the bold? Take action, use action words. When you say, I practice this, I'm doing this, I walk outside the door, I eat healthier, I drink less. These are action words. And they are more empowering than saying, I'm trying to do this. I hope you find this helpful. And if you do, please subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, place them under the video, and when I can, I will answer them, and I will look forward to seeing you possibly next time. For now, I wish you action and observing the language you use, and turn anything that is lowering your frequency into something that is increasing it. Action to you today. Bye for now.